of the things that that we had to just acknowledge as a small like youth theatre company is that we're not like in a position to be able like to financially support like projects. So so we've had to develop strategies that to kind of get these projects up, and those strategies are like liaising like with local councils. Earlier on, when Steve was like speaking, and the gentleman from like McCarthy was saying that the city, that like there's money coming through like the city, but there's nothing coming through like Western Sydney, or it's quite minimal. My first feeling, I was going to just put my hand up and say, no, tap into like the local council. Like there should be, there has to be, money like readily like available for cultural projects like to take place. And it's and if you are from like an organisation, as Jenny was saying, you're like in the best position to actually initiate like those partnerships. And what I have found my experience has been a lot of like the outcomes we have achieved has just been from from meeting with people and discussing. I have this saying, so there's a Western Sydney way of doing things, which is a bit different from like the city, and that is, it's not just about sending like an email and introducing yourself, but it's physically going to meet like with someone, whether it is someone from like local government or an organisation, meeting up with them and saying, hey, I've got like this idea, this is what it can do, this is who it's for, and this is what I want. Do you have it? And if you don't, move on, next person, this is what I have, this is what I want, do you have it? And just
watch those eyes, everybody. This is what she does when she looks in their eyes.
Yeah.
This is what I want. This is like
because you know what, we're not. We don't have. We're under resourced. Like every single like one of our organisations, and we don't like have the time to be like fluffing around. And that has been like my strategy. It's like, come on, people step up. People have money, and it's just about tapping into like where that money is. So I say, and local government, my experience, there is money in there. So.
Thanks, Claudia. We'll take the heat off the local government. We'll actually move on to the federal level of this side of the table. And I think the entree for Kate here is about, Kate represents community partnerships, and some of the non-arts organisations, disability organisations may not know a lot about the community partnerships program of the Australia Council. So take over, Kate.
Thanks very much, Cheryle. Yes, I think a lot of what Jenny had to say was very relative to all and relevant to all levels of government. Certainly at the federal level with the Australia Council for the Arts, certainly organisations like Claudia's Powerhouse and Accessible Arts would be very familiar with our programs and our policies. But for those coming from the disability sector perhaps, or individual artists, I think it can be a difficult place to navigate the Australian Council's programs, especially for people with disabilities, because we don't have, at the moment, a separate arts and disability program. But what we do have is the Community Partnerships Grants program, which has, the Community Partnerships in total has about a budget of about $5.5 million per annum, and several hundreds of thousands of dollars are put in annually to our grants programs. And one of the priority areas for the community partnerships area of council is disability, and working cross-sectorally is a very important prerequisite as well. So the community partnerships area funds all sorts of programs and projects, one-off individual projects for individuals, groups, organisations, wanting to engage community groups in art-making activities. And so if your community group are people with disabilities, then you will immediately fall into a priority area for us. And basically, first-time applicants are encouraged to apply, and certainly if you haven't applied to us before, probably our Category B program for up to $20,000 to undertake a project with a community group would probably be the most relevant place to start. Basically, we're really encouraging in the Category B, we're encouraging first-time applicants, disability is a priority, but also cross-sectoral partnerships. So it's people from the non-arts sector partnering with artists, arts organisations and groups to deliver arts programs. So certainly one idea came to mind when Steve was speaking this morning about for example, he's running a program having to put a lot of his own and in-kind resources in to make it all go around. We certainly would fund those sorts of programs. Of course, it's about, you know, putting in a great application and everything else. But basically, we certainly provide up to $20,000 for those sorts of activities where you might want to employ a professional artist to come in and work with the group to buy resources, to pay for equipment and the on-costs of running a project. And certainly in category B, you don't have to have a high-profile public outcome. It can be about skills development, it can be about workshops and working with a smaller scale community group. So in terms of our grants program, I won't run through the whole gamut because of course we run right through to... Yes, I was just about to say, you know, that we fund major organisations as well, so we fund a whole range of things. But if you want to find out more, I'd have a look at our website, www.australiacouncil.gov.au, and I'd certainly encourage you to ring up the community partnership staff. Either myself or one of the other program officers are really willing to talk to you. We can have a meeting with you over the phone, or you can come in and have up to an hour-long meeting with one of the staff talking about your particular project, how you think it might fit, and the staff are more than willing to have a full conversation with you about how that might work for you.
Great, thank you very much.